Let's now move on to the issue of corruption. The number two issue we have to look at with Trump's immigration ban from majority Muslim nations is it corrupt? Question that has never been more important in terms of the US presidency than in the Trump era. Just as interesting as the countries included on the list, 7 countries, are the countries not included. Let's take a look at a map first before we get into this. You'll notice that not included are Egypt, for example. Oh, I don't know, Saudi Arabia, for example, the United Arab Emirates, Turkey, etc. A total coincidence that many of these countries are ones that Donald Trump has done business with. If you believe in the concept of a Muslim majority nation immigration ban, how on earth do you justify not putting Saudi Arabia on that list, the a primary source of 9/11 terrorist hijackers? And to understand the Trump Muslim ban list, you have to also understand the "we've got oil" list. You've got to understand the "we do business with Trump" list. Many of these countries have some combination of oil, past business dealings with Donald Trump, or the possibility of business dealings with Trump. Let's put up the table and I'll describe. There's a few sections here. We've got 3 columns. Is the country on Trump's Muslim ban list? Have there been people from those countries involved in attacks on U.S. soil? And have these countries done business or considered doing business with Donald Trump? You'll notice that Iraq, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Syria, and Yemen are on Trump's list. Yet none of those countries have had people involved in attacks on U.S. soil, and none of those countries have had or considered doing business with Donald Trump. Then, though, we get to Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Lebanon, and the United Arab Emirates, which are not on the list, have all had terrorists involved in attacks on U.S. soil. And 2 of those, Saudi Arabia and Egypt, have done business with Donald Trump. Trump has significant commercial interests in Turkey, also Azerbaijan, which is not on the list. Trump has done business there. You'll remember that the terrorists in the 9/11 attacks were from Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Lebanon, and the United Arab Emirates. None of those 4 countries are on the list. Trump has explored developing properties in Dubai. The United Arab Emirates is, of course, not on the list, has had nationals participate in terrorist attacks on U.S. soil. And then Saudi Arabia is particularly interesting because they are one of the most oppressive regimes in the world, partially because we know Donald Trump registered 8 companies in Saudi Arabia during the presidential election. During an August 21st rally, Trump, the same day Trump created 4 of those corporations, he talked about how well he gets along with Saudi Arabia. Earlier this year, Trump said on Fox News he would want to protect Saudi Arabia. Trump's 7-country ban, Pat, and this is so key, would have blocked 0 of the 19 9/11 hijackers.
I think it's really just appealing to his base, too, because I think most people in the right wing get a sense that those from Iraq, Iran, Syria aren't people that they're going to be compatible with. But when it comes to, I guess, Saudi Arabia, they're just fine with it, or they're not educated on the points that they have corrupting influences, too.
Yeah, it's a complete PR optics move. It is not a move to keep America objectively safe, and I'll deal with that a little bit later. It does happen to be a terrible PR stunt with real people suffering the consequences. And because with Trump, everything is projection, everything he accused Hillary Clinton of is something he's guilty of himself. Recall that during the presidential campaign, Trump would often slam Hillary for accepting money from Saudi Arabia for the Clinton Foundation. What is more corrupt than saying to keep America safe, we're going to ban immigrants from majority Muslim countries, not Saudi Arabia, which was the main source of 9/11 hijackers. And oh, by the way, I also do business with them. And oh, by the way, we have shared oil interests with Saudi Arabia. Absolute and total kleptocratic, oligarchical, crony, capitalist corruption. Absolutely despicable. I'm thrilled that Blue Apron continues to sponsor the David Pakman Show. I've been cooking with Blue Apron off and on now for several months, and I've talked about the problem of food deserts very often on the show. And not only can Blue Apron be delivered to 99% of the continental U.S., Blue Apron can be delivered to 99.5% of food deserts. And because Blue Apron ships you the exact amount of each ingredient that a recipe requires, it reduces food waste, and you don't end up with 1 green onion or half a cabbage that you don't know what to do with, and it ends up in the trash all too often. Some of the meals available this month include mushroom and chipotle pepper enchiladas with lime sour cream, as well as, I made this one a couple of weeks ago and it came out really great, spicy shrimp and Korean rice cakes with cabbage. You can get your first 3 meals for free and get free shipping by going to blueapron.com/Pakman. When you do that, you support Blue Apron and you support the David Pakman Show. Blueapron.com/Pakman, Pakman. It is a better way to cook.